Hey, when you're speaking English, do you ever feel like just saying something is better or harder just isn't quite enough? Well, in this explainer, we are going to level up your comparisons. We're going to look at how to add emphasis so you can express what you really mean with, well, far more precision. So, to get started, let's just jump into a real-world scenario. I want you to imagine two colleagues, okay? They're just about to give a huge presentation, and they're talking about how they're handling the pressure. Let's have a listen. Now, as you listen, pay really close attention to the words they use to describe the degree of their feelings. You'll hear what I mean. Ready? Here we go. I thought I would feel nervous today, but honestly, I am much more relaxed than I expected. Really? I am far more stressed than usual. I feel like my heart is beating twice as fast. Maybe that's because your part of the presentation is a bit longer than mine. True. Also, the new manager is considerably more critical than our previous one. I want everything to be perfect. Don't worry, her feedback is way more helpful, which actually makes me feel slightly more confident. So, did you catch it? They didn't just say more relaxed or more stressed. Nope. They used some very specific words to show exactly how much more. The big question is, how did they do that so effectively? All right, let's break down what we just heard. We're going to grab those special emphasizing words from the chat and sort them out. This is where it all starts to click. And here you go. See how they fall into two simple groups? To show a big difference, they used words like much, far, considerably, and way. But for a smaller, a more subtle difference, they used a bit and slightly. Getting this right is really the key to sounding more natural. And this brings up another super important point, the style or register. The word considerably, it sounds a little more serious, right? It's perfect for professional settings or writing. But then you have way, which is something you'd hear all the time in casual, everyday conversation. So choosing the right word really depends on who you're talking to. Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, but how do I actually use these words in a sentence? Well, the good news is the grammar here is really, really simple. Let's look at the basic structure you need to know. Here is the one and only rule you really have to remember. These emphasizing words, like much, far, a bit, slightly, they always go right before the comparative adjective. That means they come before words like more relaxed, longer, or easier. And this table shows it perfectly. See, you say way more helpful, not just way helpful, or much more relaxed, not much relaxed. You absolutely have to include that comparative part, the more or the ER ending right after the emphasizing word. This is such a common mistake, so if you can master this, you'll sound fantastic. So, let's recap our toolkit for making big comparisons. We've got much, far, a lot, our formal friend considerably, and the super casual way. You've got plenty of great options here. And what about for those smaller, more subtle differences? Well, your go-to words are going to be a bit, a little, and slightly. These are just perfect for when something is different, but not, dramatically different. Okay, so theory is great, but seeing it in action is way better, right? Let's check out a few more examples. This will help you see how you can start using this grammar in all kinds of different situations. Here's a great one about feelings. Far more nervous. Doesn't that just paint a clearer picture than saying more nervous? With just that one little word, far, you can almost feel that anxiety level shooting up. It's so much more descriptive. Now let's look at a professional setting. Saying a draft was considerably more creative is really strong specific feedback. It sounds formal and it has more impact than just saying it was better. This is perfect for work or school. And this one shows the power of being subtle, slightly more interested. It communicates a small but still very positive change. It's honest, it's precise, and honestly, it's this kind of detail that makes your English sound so much more natural. All right, let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways. First off, use these modifier words to make your comparisons way more precise. Second, know which words to use for big differences and which ones for small differences. And finally, the golden rule. Always put them right before the comparative form, like in much happier or a bit easier. And now it's over to you. Think about a recent project you did, or maybe a movie you saw. How could you describe it using this grammar? Was it way more interesting than you thought it would be? Or maybe just a bit more challenging? Go on,
Start playing with these words. I think you'll notice a considerable difference in your English pretty quickly.